Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you had a great Christmas. Got a quick video I'm gonna do on finesse swim baits. I did a post on Instagram a few days ago. Got a lot of guys sending me DMs wanting to know more about them. So I thought I'd do a video showing them up close, showing some more color options, how I like to rig them, and more importantly, who makes them and where you can get them from. Okay, let's take a look.
All right, so here we go. I've got some different models laid out for you guys to show you. A couple of them have been really productive for me, especially this time of year. This is when I break these out. When I see water temperatures getting down uh, into the low 50s, like 53, on down into the 40s, and even to the 30s, this is what I'll pick up as far as swim baits go. They come in different sizes, you can see. Right here we got a 3, a 4, and a 4.5. This is a 3-inch right here. The color patterns that they have on these things is just outrageous. I mean, they're beautiful baits, as you can see. That's the 3-inch. There's the 4. Doesn't really change sizes until it gets up to the 4.5. What I do is mostly on these, the 3 and the 4-inch, I'll use a jig head, and I did a video on this particular jig head right here. It's the Sleeper Macho, which in my opinion is the best jig head for fishing bottom when you're fishing baits like this because of the head design. But anyway, with this jig head right here, I'll hook up both of these baits, the 3 and the 4-inch. You notice on these tail designs, it's a classic Huddle design. It's got the that wedge tail. I had a gentleman message me or make a comment on Instagram. He's like, "I don't have enough action," and that's exactly right. Well, that's what you want this time of year. You don't want a lot of action. Look at that beautiful bait. Absolutely beautiful. It's got that classic wedge tail design. I tell you guys, it's amazing. And what I'm gonna do, I'll get some underwater footage. We had a horrible, well, not horrible. We had a lot of snow, about 10 inches to a foot, and then it's rained consistently, so the rivers are like, they're jammed up, but they're supposed to get back to normal in a couple of days. And I will get these out and show them in the water and show you what they look like coming through the water. That tail barely kicks is what you want. And you know, in wintertime, guys, and yes, you know, there is sometimes you can get a reaction bait, but 9 times out of 10, you are fishing extremely slow, which means, especially in clear water, your baits need to be lifelike. This is all just my opinion. Everybody has their own, and nobody's right or wrong. It's just all different opinions. But this, you know, with baits like these, when you have baits this small, with this kind of detail, and you're fishing on bottom, the way that these jig heads can present these baits, you can let them sit. What you have to do, I'm hoping to get back out Wednesday, and I'll do a video on these and others that I'll fish. It just depends on the activity level of the fish, water temps and whatnot. But there's times I'll leave it sit 10, 15 seconds, and they'll come pick it up. That's really most of the bites this time of year is when you're dead sticking. So when you're dead sticking, you know, you don't, you know, using big, bulky, unnatural looking baits, to me is, you know, of course you can get bites on it, but you're going to get a lot more bites when you use baits that are lifelike, whether it be swim baits or small crawls or whatnot, worms, of course. But you know, you want to have something that is lifelike, that looks good, because it's going to sit in front of their face, and it needs to entice them visually. And then when you move a bait like this a few inches at a time, and it doesn't have that exaggerated action, it doesn't do the extreme kicking that some swim baits do that are more productive as the water warms up. They just can't take it. they will hit this bait because it matches, the action of the other bait fish that are barely moving. Tails are barely kicking. So when you're employing baits like this and others at this time of year, if you're lucky enough to get out, if your waters are not frozen, hey, take your time. And that's the hardest thing for me to do is to fish slow, believe me. And that is exactly why I fish in the winter, is to hone my skills as far as slowing down and taking my time, because I'm a power fisherman. I want to flip, I want to pitch, I want to crank, spinnerbait, bladed jig, but it's just there is times when the pre-spawn approaches and spawn and whatnot, it won't help you, and it's just another part of your game that you can sharpen and become a better angler. So the point I'm trying to get at is, if you're getting out fishing this winter, try these lifelike baits like these Huddle swimmers, and I'm sure they'll increase your odds of catches. This particular bait is made by Imakatsu. It's a collaboration between Imakatsu and Huddleston, if you can see that with the light glare. They are difficult to find. The best place is, of course, Japan tackle shops. And I know things are getting more and more difficult to find here, like Raid Japan and a few other baits. We do have some great companies here in the States, like the Hook Up Tackle, Carolina Fishing, and whatnot, but they don't carry these baits. So I was lucky enough, I have a good friend in Japan that started sending me these about 5 years ago, and I immediately took them to the water and had great success. On this color right here, it's got that purple hue to it. You can see that. And on this color here, it's got a light purple, but it looks more black and white when it's sitting just right in the water. It's like a little black and white shad. Beautiful profile. There's some AU or IU, however you want to say it, colors that are do well out west, but most definitely you can catch fish with them here. It's got that little yellow, little gold to them. As you can see, that's a beautiful thing right there, brother. These guys are the absolute best cold water finesse swim baits that you can throw. It's that simple. And I know I kind of bounced around a little bit, but I mentioned fishing the 3 and 4 inch on jig heads. You can bump up on the 4.5 on these two right here. This is a trocar. Just like the flashy swimmer the owner has, same thing, but it's a trocar. I use owner too. I use all kinds, but they sit perfect. They swim straight up. They have they don't tip. They're not meant to be burned, of course, but with slow rolling and stopping them on bottom, they swim very nice. They swim upright. I like that they have, you can see here, they've got slots for your hook, like most swim baits do. That's for your hook point to come through. It's just everything from the eyes to the material to the action on these things. Of course, the color patterns, guys, these are winners right here. And on an open jig head, because for myself, mostly I'm fishing rivers in the winter, and of course some lakes here and there, but I'm fishing deep, rocky, a lot of rock. And these jig heads with this bait excel in them conditions. If you look up Imakatsu Huddle swimmer, you'll probably be directed to the website where you can find these. Now, I'll ask my buddy. I'll see if I can find out if there's a couple websites. I know they're difficult to find, but they can be found like any bait. They usually go about 20. You're going to spend about $20-$25 for eight of these, and they come in great packages, clamshells like this. take it off. I wish all swim baits were like this, honestly. I got more swim baits sitting around in trays than I got anything, but they're packaged well. They come very moist. They have they're not dried. Awesome baits, guys. Awesome. Imakatsu Huddle swimmer. Whether you fish them on a jig head, traditional jig head, open hook jig head, or if you fish them on a weedless swim bait hook with or without a blade, they do well. Be very impressed. And I'm looking forward to getting a video out showing the action of these in the water, because the tail just has that little seductive kick. I mean, it barely moves, but you can see it moving. I forget that gentleman's name. I think his last name is Bailey, but he caught the world record spotted bass last year on the Huddle. It wasn't one of these. It was the bigger size, but still, that tail design, that wedge tail design, catches more fish in winter than any other swim bait, just my opinion. And there are others that catch guys. There's other great swim baits out there. I fish other swim baits, but if it's going to be a grind and if it's confidence, I'm going to pick one of these. I'm going to throw these first. They're easy to rig, and they're surprisingly sturdy. You can re-rig these as long as the hook you use doesn't have a huge keeper. I like these that has a little small wire keeper. That way when you re-rig, or if you make a mistake, you can pull out and make another rig. But they're simple to rig. This one's been through all kinds. I've done caught a few fish on this one. Just that simple, guys. There you have it. This bait teamed up with this jig head will become one of your favorites in wintertime finesse swim baits. And I'm going to throw the spark shad, and I'm going to throw others, but these will definitely be in the boat, and these are definitely going to get some time. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you subscribing to my channel and liking and commenting. I've got another giveaway coming on Instagram. If you are not familiar with me on Instagram, it's at southernbasser_. I got tons of baits like this that I have posted on there that I'm going to move over to YouTube and do a quicker look, a better look, and get some underwater footage and footage them in the water so you can see how they actually fish and how they travel through the water column. Most importantly, see them catching fish, I hope. But guys, stay safe out there this holiday. I hope you and yours have a blessed New Year's, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless.